So this is the update from the metadata interest group. Let's see if I can press forward. So our objectives are to provide a space for the Samvera community and newcomers to ask metadata questions. And I just want to say we're a really welcoming place. I've learned so much from being a part of this group. That's why I serve as a co-chair on it or co-facilitator. We collaborate on base metadata recommendations, further interoperability, and sharing of metadata practices and documentation, and develop and charge working groups for the Samvera community metadata activities. And I want to mention that we also deal with a lot of stuff at the intersection of metadata and technology, because a lot of times we're dealing with how does the technology work with what our metadata work. And so the lines get blurred quite a bit. So I'm at The Ohio State University, and my co-chair is Emma Beck at University of Louisville. We meet the fourth Tuesday of every month at 2 p.m. Eastern. You can find us in the metadata channel in Slack, the wiki, and the email. And in February, we had an accessibility roundtable, which was a really great event. And again, a lot of technology blurring the lines with how we do our work. And we're talking about what subgroups we might do next. So that's really it for me.
Hello again, everyone. I'm Emily Porter, and I'm going to give a very quick update about the repository management interest group. So we basically rechartered, kind of came back from a dormant state about a year ago. And what we do in this interest group is we talk a lot about best practices for operating a successful repository. We talk a lot about use cases and different user bases for multiple Samvera products features. So really glad to have folks using Haiku, Hyrax, and Avalon, other products, all coming together and talking. And then we kind of try to cherry pick things every month based on what's happening in different people's repository universes, but really thinking about starting up a brand new repository, migrating a repository, policies, procedures, support and maintenance, that type of thing, once you're in the operational state. And I just wanted to showcase some interesting topics we've had over the last year. We've had more than this, but these were some that kind of keep coming back around on the agenda. So how do you document your repository? How do you train people, different types of users? How do you manage enhancement requests or new features? How do you prioritize those requests? We've talked about when planning a brand new repository, pros and cons to kind of bringing sort of archival digital collections type focus with that, institutional repository kind of scholarship type activities. Accessibility, great to see all the work that Julie and Rebecca have already been talking about today. In our group, we've talked a little bit about kind of training resources, in particular for people who are managing a repository, just kind of how do we advocate for this, and what kind of level of knowledge do we need to have to do that effectively? Google Analytics 4 and other tools, what type of reporting we do from various repositories. And something that we've been talking about frequently is how do you handle all the AI and the bots that are suddenly coming at our repositories? How do you create an effective policy or procedure? When do we allow this? When do we not? How do we block them if they're, aggressively taking down our whole repository service? So just a quick thank you to everyone who's been participating so far. Best way to find us is probably in the repository management Slack channel in Samvera. We have to schedule our meeting times every month just because we're all managers and we have lots of meetings already. But you can find our wiki. We send out emails to the Samvera community list. just wanted to note we have 115 members in the channel, but it's usually pretty quiet in there. So I hope everyone who's there feels free, like they can chime in and join us. I think that's all I have.